So here we are at the hotel gym here in Fiji, and you can see it's actually pretty nice, pretty well provisioned. We've got a full set of dumbbells, although it's missing 25s, 30, 35s, and everything between 10 and 20. But regardless, still pretty good. We got an adjustable bench, some medicine balls, a bench setup, treadmill, and Pilates kind of thing. But notably lacking is like a squat rack. So in order to train legs, one thing you can do when there's no squat rack, but there is a barbell, is just to use Zercher squats. So by holding them, so from here, I'm just racking up from the bench thing, walking out. But when it starts to get heavier, for my working sets, I'm just going to deadlift it from the ground, pick it up in the crook of my arms, and then squat from there. You'll see that in just a moment. But anyways, that's a good hack for when you don't have a squat rack and you don't have a spotter and you want to be able to squat. And Zercher squats are pretty interesting. Obviously, they're still a squat pattern, so they're very similar to like a back squat or a front squat, although I haven't front squatted much at all myself. To be fair, I haven't back squatted that much at all myself. I've been skipping leg day for 2 years until now. But I guess because the bar is slightly more forward and lower, I think the balance is a little bit easier than in the back squat. So it's maybe slightly less technical. But also for me, I think it probably differs per person based on your body proportions. But for me, I'm able to get really, really deep in these compared to my back squat. Back squat, I have to elevate my heels a lot, and even then, I can't get super, super deep. These I can get down to my full sort of unweighted resting squat position. And then because the bar is at the level of my knees, I can actually just sort of rest it on my legs. So you can kind of do pause squats really easily on this. You can actually catch your breath, rebrace, and then go back up. Really an interesting one to incorporate in your training, especially if you're on the road and have a minimal setup where there's no rack or there's no safety bars if you do have a rack. And the cool thing about these is if you're pushing it hard and you're failing a rep, you can just squat back down and sit down and just put it on the ground. So it's quite a bit safer, I'd say. Like gravy, mate. So that was actually my second session doing a Romanian deadlift in about 3 months. So I hadn't touched the lift since. And I stopped doing Romanian deadlift because I felt like my back was kind of my limiting factor, not like my hamstrings and glutes. So I wanted to make my back stronger, so I swapped out the Romanian deadlift in my program with the Jefferson curl. And I've been making great gains on that, worked up to 60 kilograms for 10 reps. But now I thought I'd bring it back because I'm trying to implement actual leg days, and the deadlift is perfect for that. So second session back, and I was doing, I guess, 1 more kilo than I did in my previous session. Only 8 reps. Last one I hit 10 reps at 124. Here was 8 reps for 125. But very, very happy with that. It's amazing. You know you've gotten actually stronger when you can do a no practice PR, a PR in a high rep range as part of your actual training without touching the lift for a long time. That means you've acquired some sort of general strength, not just the skill of greasing the movement. Just the practice. And as a casual lifter like myself, those are the type of things I'm searching for. Not to eke out the absolute max strategy and totally peak for a 1 rep max performance on some lift that at the end of the day I don't really care about it any more than any other lift. I just want to get generally strong and be generally healthy and perform well in the activities I love. The no practice PR, as Atlas Power Stroke calls it, or for me, I like to call it the training 10 rep max. Just that thing that you're hitting new maxes time and time again in your regular training without peaking for it, without periodizing and specializing. You're just getting stronger, like normal training. That's the stuff I want to glorify because that is what I actually do. So you can see the setup here. 2 benches. The whole point is to allow space for the rear knee to drop below the level of the ground to allow you to reach your maximal range of motion. So it's basically it's basically a Bulgarian split squat, but for maximal range of motion. Learned about that one from Devin Kelly on Instagram. I think he calls it the ROM split squat. It is so brutal, but so good. It's awesome to do after squats, because then you can push your squats heavy, but then kind of burn out your legs in a way that doesn't tax your back as much. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's like kind of like doing the leg press after you use squats, but uses normal equipment, unlike a leg press machine. Oh my God, those ones are absolutely brutal. All right, so that's the session, and now I'm gonna go have some breakfast, eat a lot of protein, probably have a cup of coffee, and enjoy the rest of my day. Thanks so much for tuning in.